Whenever we kill an enemy, you may notice that blue material that kind of like comes out of them and goes over to us, and it increases our soul count on the bottom right there. Look at that guy's head's tilting back and forth. So is his friends. Night the Roxbury Dreglings. Those guys are called Dreglings. They are pretty much the cannon fodder enemies of this game. I almost didn't notice that one. Aha! But anyways, the soul count increases whenever you kill enemies. Dreglings are very early enemies, so they don't give you a lot of souls, but basically souls function as currency and also as experience. Experience that doesn't stay with you, but experience that you can pull together and then use a certain cost in order to level up your stats. Anyways, this guy had an item on him. Whenever you see that yellow glow above a corpse, that means that there's a drop, you know, that you can pick up and get items from. And then with the square button, you can use items like we have Crescent Moon Grass. I'm not going to use it right now because we have full health and we don't really need it, but keep that in mind. To use items like Ed's Grindstone, which can repair your items after they're damaged, or Crescent Moon Grass, which is the earliest tier of grass. There are like different tiers of grasses that will heal you more or less depending on which one it is. Like Crescent Moon Grass is obviously the weakest, and then Full Moon Grass would be one of the stronger ones. So yeah, backstep and roll, as I mentioned. Rolling is invaluable to you. You'll definitely want to make as much use out of rolling as you possibly can. Oh. There we go. Getting a little bit clumsy. You don't want to do that in this game. That is where you will definitely start to die a lot if you aren't careful with the way you attack. But as you saw there, after these guys do that lunging attack, they actually sort of go on this frenzy and just attack you with a flurry of mad swiping, oh god, mad swiping attacks like this. It's a good time to backstab them, or to parry them if you can. If you press L2, you can actually parry enemy attacks, but you have to be very careful with that. I can't quite do it. It's really not something that you'll see often, just because of how risky it is. But that's what a parry and riposte looks like. If you do a parry, they get knocked back, and then if you press R1 to attack them afterwards, it goes into that animation where you stab them. Just amazing sound effect. You feel really good whenever you get to do that, so definitely a fun thing to do. Anyways, moving along. This is an archstone, and basically it transports you to different worlds. In this case, it just transports us to a different section of the tutorial level, but this is more of a rare occurrence than anything else. Anyways, I hope I've been explaining stuff well enough. You have some menu stuff. I don't want to take the time to explain all this right now, but as we come to it, I'll try and do my best to explain stuff. So, that mention right there, if you use R2, you do a stronger, albeit slower attack. It's good if you want to do a lot of damage and your opponent leaves themselves open, but you don't want to use it against an attacker who is very quick on their feet. You only want to use it against like slower enemies or enemies who are taking a while to recover. That's the best time to use it. But anyways, that was just explaining the parry and riposte that I explained earlier. There you go. The opening area is a very good time to practice that, just because of how easy it is to get some of the earlier enemies, and for how little damage they do. Later on, we really can't do this, because we can't really manage to make too many mistakes. Oops, didn't work. Alright, so these guys are the Blue-Eyed Knights. We've been fighting Dreglings and just normal soldiers so far, like this guy was a soldier. He's the enemy one-up from a Dregling, and then Blue-Eyed Knights are sort of the stronger variety of sword and shield enemies. Right there we got a riposte off of him, which is pretty nice. The only enemies stronger in this respect than the Blue-Eyed Knights are the Red-Eyed Knights, and you do not want to mess with them at this point in the game. We will be seeing one on the first level, the first real level. This is just the tutorial level right now, but yeah. Anyways, what that explained back there is that if we press triangle, we actually wield our sword with 2 hands. And what this does is it increases damage, but it also doesn't function very well as a defense tool. You'll still take a decent portion of damage if you block like this, because shields usually absorb like a good 80-90% of damage given to you as long as you successfully block. Swords are maybe 40%, so you're still taking the brunt of the attack if you're blocking like this. So really the best way to use a two-handed strategy is if you're very confident about not getting hit or very good with your dodge rolls. Oh. I didn't dodge roll out of the way fast enough. But yeah, we're just gonna try fighting this guy with this, and then I'm gonna switch back just because I am not a dual-wielding son of a gun. I'm very... I lack in skill at doing this kind of stuff. It definitely relies a lot on your enemy putting their guard down, you kind of attacking before they start to attack. Just at the right time so that, you know, they have their guard down when you attack, but they don't attack you first. This game is very much about, you know, waiting for the right moment to get in so that your opponent's defense is down, but that they're not attacking you. Anyways, what this explains right here is changing weapons and changing items. You saw down here, if I press down on the directional pad, I can switch between grass types and that grindstone, which is used, of course, to repair items. Oh god, I hear footsteps. I'm getting nervous. But all of that is seen right here on the equipment screen. As you can see, we have all of our stuff up here. I'm going to put away the grindstone because I don't really use those. But you can see crescent moon grass, half moon grass, and then we have 3 other slots. So right now, we can only get those 2, since I only have 2 slots open. Then we have the shield slot, or the left-handed slots, where you can put 1 shield and then maybe 1 magical item like a catalyst, which is more or less a wand. And then you have the falchion and the dagger, which are right-handed weapons, or primarily they should be used as such. You can also put the dagger in the left-handed slot, and we can dual-wield. And you can do this with pretty much any item. Fun thing to do is to actually dual-wield shields, especially the larger shields, and you're just kind of running around with these giant arm shields. It's pretty crazy stuff, but yeah. You can string together some combos with all the different items that you can get, all that stuff. Anyways, I'm not going to dwell on that stuff, but you can even go barehanded. I have a barehanded character who looks kind of similar to this one, maybe a little bit less silly, but still pretty damn silly. Like, his nose is gigantic. He also has a lighter tinted blue skin. I'll show him off and my main character off later on in this LP, but for now we're just gonna start out with our friend the Horror here. We called him the Horror because he is truly a horror to behold. Look at his lips. Those are giant lips. I don't even know why I did this. I thought it would be silly. It's probably going to end up being horrifying by the end of this, but anyways. So I'm gonna stop the video soon, probably right before the boss, if that works. That's the backstab when you use your fists to do so. It looks pretty funny. And also, if you parry with your fists, you actually get this sort of Kali Ma scene from Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom. Like, you just reach inside their chest and you pull out their heart, more or less. And right here, I don't know if an item's usually supposed to appear there. I guess it doesn't. Or maybe a soldier appears there or something. I don't know. But that shows you a little bit of the platforming of this game. You definitely want to dodge roll over this, because if you just try and run, you'll drop. Or no, you won't, I guess. Usually, running and dodge rolling have the same effect, but sometimes, like if you're on level ground, it's preferred to dodge roll just because it's more reliable. I tried doing that on a previous run, and I kept falling through. But anyways, let's pick that up. There we go. Didn't quite work out like I thought it would. I think I have to de-equip my shield as well. But yeah, you can actually do just a fist run, and there are some gauntlets that you can get later on in the game that'll help you out immensely, but really the best, most reliable thing to do is just go with the classic sword and shield. So we'll be doing that for the majority of the LP. Anyways, we're coming up to the boss fight now. This is the boss fight of the tutorial. And technically, if you're a new player, you are not supposed to beat this boss. If you do, though, you get a nice reward. I was able to beat this guy the last time I played through the game, through the tutorial, but no promises this time. I'm hoping we can do it, because it would be very fancy if I was able to, but yeah, don't be disappointed if I die in the process. Alright, I'll see you all next time. Hope you're enjoying the LP so far, and goodbye.